Hello, everybody. My name is Anderson, and welcome to my channel, Following Jesus Christ. And today we're going to talk about a commandment from Jesus that always bothered me and that I never quite understood. So, you probably sat in church and you've heard when people say, "Oh, if somebody slaps your right cheek, give him the other cheek." Or if somebody takes your jacket, give them your shirt, right? Or if somebody forces you to walk 1 mile, give them 2 miles. And when I was growing up listening to this in church, I was like, this is like I always thought it's no wonder people think that Christians are weak. But the problem is that nobody reads the Bible, so everybody always loses its context. Nobody reads the Bible, and that's why people don't really understand what Jesus, the way Jesus teaches, or the reason why Jesus did the things that he did. So I'm going to explain it to you because this is something that always bothered me, and I finally found the answer. So first, I'm going to read you the verse. Let's start with the verse. All right, so Matthew chapter 5, verse 38. It says, "Do not resist an evil person. If someone slaps you on the right cheek, offer the other offer the other cheek as well. If you sue in court and your shirt is taken from you, give your coat as well. If a soldier demands that you carry his gear for a mile, carry it for 2 miles instead." Right? So basically, a lot of people will read this and they're like, wait a minute, why would I, if somebody forces me to walk a mile, what would I give them two? I don't even, you know what I mean? If somebody slaps me, what would I give them the other cheek? The things that Jesus Christ said is meant to be studied. This is what people don't understand. And this is why just sitting in church and simply listening to what the pastor tells you is not enough. This is why just being a church going person is not enough. You understand? The Bible has to be studied. The Bible has to be studied. The words of Jesus Christ has to be studied for you to get to heaven, for you to understand why Jesus did the things he did. Otherwise, you're just going to look at Christianity, you're just going to look at the decisions of Jesus as like, like somebody that's like dumb or like an idiot or weak. Everybody thinks that Jesus was a weak man, you know? So I actually wrote it down. I did some research. Because a lot of things are taken out of context. So let's start with turning the right cheek or offering the other cheek, right? So in Jewish culture, they will slap someone on the right cheek with the right hand. The right hand, this is my right, your left, right? The right hand shows dominance because the right side is the dominant hand. Most people write with their right hand. So turning the other cheek would force them to use their left hand, right? The left hand, which is considered unclean. And in many cultures, including back in the day in Jewish culture, the left hand was used to clean your backside when you go to the bathroom. So it was considered an unclean hand. You eat with your right hand, you don't eat with your left hand. This is true in many cultures, like in the Hindu culture. So, turning the other cheek will force them to use their left hand, which is considered unclean. So that would put you on equal ground. Turning the other cheek in Jewish culture would force the oppressor to treat you as an equal, not a lesser person. You understand? So let's say they slap you one side, right? So you're like, all right, yeah, go ahead, slap me. So during the reason why Jesus said this, because during his time, if somebody slapped you with the left hand, right? Because you're not. So if I turn like this, you're not gonna slap me with your right hand. You're gonna use your other hand to get a good slap in there. So you would force somebody to use their left hand, and because the left hand is dirty, that will put you on equal ground. So Jesus thought about this immediately. Jesus was actually a genius because the thing is, Jesus tries to fight. Jesus tries to fight without using physical force, at least back then, right? Jesus did not like to use physical force. Now, he was not against physical force, but he did not like to use physical force. You understand? Okay, so the next one is like if a soldier demands that you carry his gear for 1 mile, give him 2 miles instead. I think a lot of us, if you watch the show The Chosen, you saw this on The Chosen, where Jesus is walking with his disciples, and then the Roman soldiers are like, "All right, you're gonna carry our stuff for 1 mile because it's the law." Roman soldiers were allowed to force Jewish people to carry their things for 1 mile. But what did Jesus do? 1 mile? I'm gonna give you 2 miles. And then you see Jesus, he gives him 2 miles, which is illegal. The law allows 1 mile, but Jesus gave them 2 miles. 2 miles is illegal. So what did the Romans do? The Roman soldiers started to feel guilty. And they're like, okay, you know what? No, okay. That's it. That's it. You can stop. You can stop. Like, and even if you watch The Chosen in that scene, you even see the Roman soldiers feeling guilty. It's like a representation of what happened during that time. And same in biblical times. It's like the soldiers knew that they will get in trouble if they force Jewish people to carry their things for more than 1 mile. Jesus knows this. Jesus knows the law, so he did that. Again, he is fighting without physical force. Jesus was a genius. All right, next one. Um. Okay, so the thing about if somebody takes your shirt, give them your coat. So about that, in Jewish culture, the fault lands on the person who caused the other to be naked, not the person who's naked. So if for some reason, I don't know, somebody takes your jacket, right? Somebody takes your jacket in court or whatever. Um, they're causing you to be naked. So by you taking off the rest of your clothes, it is their fault that you're now naked. You understand? So he's using the rules against them. These are the Jewish laws, the Jewish rules against the people who try to humiliate Jesus. It's like, okay, you're gonna force this you're gonna force me to take off my jacket. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give you my shirt. I'll be shirtless, and then I can say, "This is your doing." Okay, and this part maybe I'm not explaining it to the best, but the point of these things is that Jesus always um, fought without physical force. That's the whole idea behind this. So Jesus was not a weak man. He was a smart. He was very intelligent. He was very quick thinking. He was very quick witted. You know, very quick with his mind. And that's why he said those things. But if you say this in church, people are gonna be like, "What? Why would I give somebody my coat? Why would I let them slap me on the other cheek? Why would I let them do that?" People don't understand. People would not understand. So the words of God, the words of Jesus have to be studied. You can't just go to church, sit down, and that's it. Because for years, I always thought this was kind of stupid. Forgive me, God, forgive me, Lord. I repent. But for many years, I thought this was like nonsense. Like, why would I do these things? And this is why a lot of people think that Christians are weak. But hey, whatever your thoughts are, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to comment below. Tell me what you think. Please follow Anderson here on my channel, Following Jesus Christ. Subscribe to the channel for more of these videos, guys, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Godspeed.